So what we have here, this is the first ever unboxing of the Oppo Find 7. It's the 1920 by 1080 version with 2 gigabytes of RAM. Not because I didn't want to buy the 2K, it's just because the 2K wasn't available. So let's get on with it. So I got this nice little bag with the Oppo Find 7. Oh, just to let you all know, I paid full price. Oppo didn't give me any discount. I didn't ask for a discount either, so I just walked in, I paid full price. More for you guys than anything really. So let's have a look at this. So inside the box, they were very nice. They gave me a free flip cover for my Find 7. It's a white one. And they also, obviously, they gave me the phone, which was very nice of them, obviously. So this is the Oppo Find 7 packaging. It's very similar to the Oppo N1 packaging. So I'll just pop that to one side. And they also gave me a little membership card, so I can go in and get anything fixed on there if I ever need to, and they'll give me free screen covers and stuff. Alright, I'm just going to readjust the camera and we're going to do the unboxing. Okay, so Oppo Find 7 unboxing, the first ever, well, the first ever I'm aware of. So here it is, the black Oppo Find 7 packaging. This is a plastic, it feels like plastic box to me. On the back we've got the specifications, and Oppo have been really kind with the frequencies and everything on here. So the model I have is the Oppo X9, sorry I was getting that into focus, Oppo X9007, which has a 5.5 inch LCD 1920 by 1080 display. I'll just check that. Okay. We have support for GSM 850, 900, 1800, and 1900. We've got support for TD-SCDMA, which is China Mobile's only 3G network, so we're not really interested in that. TD-LTE, 1880, 1920, 2300, 2400, 2570, 2620. WCDMA, which is what most of us, we've had trouble with in the past with phones. 850, 900, 1200, and 2100 megahertz, and LTE FDD 1800, 2100, 2600 megahertz. It's also got a 13 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front. It measures in at 152.6 millimeters by 75 by 9.2, and it weighs just 170 grams. Okay, now oddly, when I bought the phone and I put my SIM card in the phone, 3G doesn't work with my China Unicom SIM card. And I asked the ladies at the Oppo shop who were serving me, and they said, don't worry, this is normal. There will be a firmware update which will allow 3G to work. So it's a little bit frustrating. So I've got my brand new Find 7, but I can't use 3G. I can use 2G, but that's about it. There was an update available, so I updated it, and it still hasn't fixed the 3G yet. So I'll keep an eye on that, and they informed me that they'll give me a call once the update is ready. Anyway, so open the box. Okay, so the box is open, and this is the Oppo Find 7 1920 by 1080 version, 2 gigabytes of RAM, Snapdragon processor. Let's take the phone out of the box. So we've got this nice little label here we can lift up, and that brings the Oppo Find 7 out nice and safely. So I opted for the white version of the phone. Let's pop that to one side for now. Let's bring the box back in here. Just lifting out this panel. This feels like plastic too, which holds the Find 7 in place, nice and secure. So underneath we have a small packet, and in here we have a instruction manual and warranty cards. We also have a charger. So the USB wire and charge, so instead of being two separate pieces, it's an all-in-one charger setup. The pins come out like this, so I'll just get that into focus. So there's a charger for it. This so the Find 7 has super fast charging, so when we do our full review, we'll make a note of that. We'll comment on the super fast charging, see what it's like. We do have a data cable, obviously, because we need to transfer music and stuff around. Generous length as well. And we've got the same earbuds here as the ones that we got with the Oppo N1, and they're very good. They're really good earbuds, these. Alright, so that's in the box. Let's look at the phone. Okay, so hands on with the Oppo Find 7. So this is the production phone. I've just bought it now. So it's a 5.5 inch 1920 by 1080 display on this version. There's also going to be a 2K version of the phone. So as we can see, it's all black panel on the front. We've got a 5 megapixel camera at the top, and once I turn it on, you'll see the bezels. They're not super narrow, but they're narrow enough to keep this 5.5 inch body to a good width. It's very comfortable in the hand. Okay, along the bottom we've got this sort of protective film on here. I'll just remove that, and we've got this black area here. This is where we thought that maybe there was a notification light or something. Perhaps there is. I've not had a look at that just yet, but we will do soon enough. And when I bought the phone, it came already pre-installed with a film to protect the screen, but it is a toughened screen, so it shouldn't scratch anyway, but it's nice to have that extra protection just in case. Alright, if we look in the bottom of the phone, we've got a regular USB area here where we can charge the phone, and we've got a microphone as well. And you can see we've got these silver metal edges which wrap all the way around the phone. If I just get that into focus a bit better for you. So they go all the way around. These steel, maybe, edges that go all the way around. Could be part of the chassis, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so on the left hand side we've got a power button which also locks the screen. At the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. And on the right hand side we've got a volume rocker, and we've also got this little pin area. We can push this pin in, and that will help remove the rear. Actually though, all the people I've seen remove the rear, they've just pulled it off. They've never even touched that. So at the show and today at the store, they didn't even bother trying to use this little pin. Alright, so the rear, so let's bring this into focus again. We've got the Oppo logo, a dual LED flash and a 13 megapixel camera up there. And we've got this large external speaker. And like I say, I went for the white version of the phone, which is a textured finish. The grey colour one has a smooth finish. I quite like this textured finish on the back of the phone. Okay, let's take a look underneath here. So if I just put my thumbnail in, you can see it just pulls off. Don't need to touch the pin. So the rear removable shell of the Oppo Find 7 has this NFC on here, and we've got this nice rubber seal around the speaker area, which should help improve quality of the sound and stop any vibrations and prevent any dirt working their way in there. The phone itself, we can see we've got this removable battery, and this being the 1920 by 1080 version of the phone, this battery is a 2800 mAh battery. I'll just take that out to show you. So you can see, sorry, 2700 to 2800, I'll just bring that in so you can see it better. So this is the 1920 version. If you go for the 2K model, which will go on sale later in the year, you will get a 3000 mAh battery. Okay, so let's just pop that battery back in and get that focus back. Okay, again we can see that we've got the space for a micro SIM here. I'm using a China Unicom 3G SIM, and as already mentioned, it isn't working on 3 just yet, but I have been told by the Oppo store that this will change with an update, and the frequencies on the box do indicate it does support WCDMA. We've also got space for a micro SIM card, up to 128 gigabytes. So if you're the kind of person who loves to fill their phone with games, movies, and take tons of movies and photographs, the Oppo Find 7 could be for you. It's got an excellent rear camera and it's got huge amounts of storage. Okay, let's pop the back on. And it just snaps back on into place. Really easy, just like any phone. Alright, so the actual feel of the phone is really nice. It's not the thinnest of phones in the world, but it is one of the comfiest I've used. Although it's quite wide, it has a 5.5-inch display, and the bezels aren't super narrow, they're not super thick either. It's a really comfortable phone. It feels great in the hand, and in the pocket it doesn't take up much room either. It's a really well thought out phone. Okay, let's turn on the system and see what we've got inside here. Okay, so we've looked at the outside of the Oppo Find 7 and we've checked out the inside of the Oppo Find 7. So let's have a look at the OS. So I've already turned it on, so we just press the power button, it unlocks the screen, and we've got the regular Color OS lock screen here. Color OS also has a, I'm not sure if it's activated, you can also double tap usually to unlock it too, there you go. So swipe to unlock, and we'll just go have a look at the home screen. You can see I've got my China Unicom SIM card in there, but it's not picking up 3G as already mentioned, and we've got the Wi-Fi turned on too. So if you've used Color OS on any Oppo device such as the Oppo N1 or the Find 5 or the R819, this is going to look very normal to you. There's no big surprises in here, but there are some nice new features in the new version of Color OS. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the settings. So already I was looking at the storage. This version of the phone, being the 1080 model, has only 16 gigabytes of memory. That's fine, because I've got space for a 128 gigabyte SD card. I'm not going to run out of space in a hurry. This is also the Chinese only model, so my language and input are limited to just Chinese and English. But again, that's fine. Once the international Color OS ROM for the Find 7 is released, it should be easy enough to flash onto here, just as we did with the Oppo N1. Alright, let's see what else. Let's actually go have a look at the Color OS. Sorry, go about the phone. As you can see, Color OS, this is model number X9007, and it's based on Android 4.3. We've got a 2.3 gigahertz quad-core processor in here, 2 gigabytes of RAM. And it's on its latest version of the OS. I updated it already. There was already an update ready when I got the phone home. Alright then. First of all, I'm going to take a look at the camera because that's where I noticed most of the changes. So we already know there's a 13 megapixel camera on here with some fancy features. I'll just go through some of the different features. We also have, let me have a look, I'll just bring that in. So you can see we have a RAW option for images now. We can create GIFs. Sorry. We've got a poster search mode, an audio capture mode, scan paste, super zoom, slow shutter, panorama, beauty mode, HDR, and normal modes. So if you enjoy taking photos with a smartphone, you're going to really enjoy all the different features that the Oppo Find 7 has to offer. If I just go into the settings here, we have more settings. So I've got my camera set to 30 megapixels. Video mode, I can record up to 4K video. I also have an option for slow motion as well. So this is a really good phone for anyone who enjoys video, photographs, and pretty much, let's face it, that's everyone who has a modern smartphone. So this is one for you. Photos, oh, sorry, this is in super zoom mode, so it's going to capture the image. So I'll just go back out of that. Taking a normal photo, nice and quick, just as I like. Now I'm used to the Meizu MX3, and that really is fast at taking photos, and the Oppo Find 7 is easily on par. Burst mode probably isn't as fast as the Meizu MX3, but that's fine because the MX3 was a little bit too quick sometimes. Sometimes the action hadn't finished by the time the burst mode on the Meizu had finished. So this might be a nice in between. All right, let's see what else we have. So we'll go into, let's have a look at the calendar app, see if there's any differences here. Just a normal, doesn't seem like it's changed much. We've got our clock, world clock up here, timer, stopwatch. So these are all, if you, like I say, if you're used to Color OS, you're not going to find too many differences on here. Got our weather app up here with our animations. That's the sound of summer, I presume, and as you can hear, it's quite loud. It's using the Max Audio system to produce better audio. Let's get out of there. We've got a notes app already built in. Some sample notes already in there too. You can put in your photos. You can put in sketches and things. Draw nice little images in your photos, in your notes, sorry. So there's your notes app. We can browse through our files just as, you know, everything like we expect normally. PDF reader up there, email. We've got our music application down here. Now one of the features, sorry, I'll go back. One of the features that Oppo was touting was the Max Audio. I think that might only work with headphones plugged in. We've got direct sound here. I can turn that on if I have my headphones on. So I'll play around with that again for the full review. These are the standard apps that come with the Oppo Find 7 for China. So we have Auto Navi on here, QQ. We've got China Merchants Bank for just paying with your NFC. There is no Google Play on the Chinese version. You have your own Oppo Find Me store. Okay, let's just go out. Let's just lock the screen. Again, like the Oppo N1 that we first saw with the Oppo N1, this has gesture control, so I can draw a circle and the camera will open up. A V should turn on the flashlight. Yep. And if we pull down the notification, you can see we have our notifications, sorry, our toggles here in the notification area, and my gesture control is in the top left hand corner, and that can be changed over to the top right hand corner if I like.